And the interesting thing is that the television industry hasn't really changed the way it's been delivering audio for a very long time. I think, back in 2010, 2011, you had the Calm Act, but that didn't improve audio. So what you ended up getting were a lot of companies that created these loudness processors that would effectively truncate and drop the audio to match a dial norm or an audio level. And part of that problem, it solved the wild audio that you'd get for commercials, but it created a dialogue intelligibility problem where now to understand what's being said, turn on the captions, and then when people are mumbling, at least you can read it. So next generation audio, and this is what's really kind of making a presence now, and I expect will become much more relevant over the next few years as broadcasters change the way they deliver audio.
What is Telos Alliance?
The funny thing about our name is it's actually not an alliance. It is a company that started off as a bunch of smaller companies that were bought and then, kind of became a brand. And that brand was Telos Alliance because of the fact that there were multiple smaller companies that, got together and formed a larger organization. These days, we are a much larger company that has done quite a bit of mergers and acquisitions over time. We've also purchased specifically for the television and broadcast, so the media and entertainment market, Linear Acoustic, Minnetonka Audio, and we have exclusive distribution for Junger Audio. And these are really the brands that I focus on. It's more the television market than the radio market for Telos Alliance. And by the way, the radio is a big part of our business. So we have, a suite of products and a huge portfolio, everything from audio mixers to audio processors to intercom systems, etc. Where I really focus are the products that are used for audio processing for television and broadcast. So what does that mean? Up mixing from 2.0 to 5.1 to 7.1, or down mixing, audio shuffling, audio level processing. So, doing all of the Calm Act type loudness processing. What we're really kind of excited about right now is there's been for the last kind of 6 or 7 years, probably since just around when COVID started, or even a bit before COVID started, a push to having larger, LCD or LED screens or OLED screens at home. So replacing the old 36 and 42-inch sets with these 70-inch and 80-inch sets, right? That support HD and 4K, and all of these support, some form of Dolby Pro or Dolby Atmos. And the interesting thing is that the television industry hasn't really changed the way it's been delivering audio for a very long time. I think, back in 2010, 2011, you had the Calm Act, but that didn't improve audio. All that did was say, we're limiting the audio level on a production so that you're not getting wild audio surfing from channel to channel, or when the ad inserts happen. So what you ended up getting were a lot of companies that created these loudness processors that would effectively truncate and drop the audio to match a dial norm or an audio level. And part of that problem, it solved the wild audio that you'd get for commercials, but it created a dialogue intelligibility problem where now to understand what's being said, especially for an action movie or so, you're surfing the volume, right? Or turning on captions, right? Which is the other kind of way to understand what's going on. Turn on the captions, and then when people are mumbling, at least you can read it. So next generation audio, and this is what's really kind of making a presence now, and I expect will become much more relevant over the next few years as broadcasters change the way they deliver audio. Next generation audio allows you to take all the different audio flows, so the bed, all of the channels, plus the metadata of how it's supposed to be assembled at the other end, And then the rendering device, which is a sound bar or AirPods or your PC or your iPhone or your computer or your television set. And so that you can see the pattern here is that the technology has been incorporated into all of these devices that we're consuming media on for the last kind of 4 to 5 years, but we have not actually changed the way we deliver audio. So what we expect is that you're going to see a push now for more delivery of this next generation audio to the consumer devices that can then render them for a very personalized experience for the person who's actually consuming that content. And this is the area that we feel in the television side of Telos Alliance that we can contribute the most to, because we have solutions that'll handle that in a file-based workflow. So when you're a content creator and you have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of hours of archives that you need to monetize, you start by identifying what you have and then normalizing it to a level that you can work with it to kind of future-proof it. And this is the great part about normalizing to next generation audio, is that you can now encode or ingest all of your older content to have the best audio quality. And then at the end, how it's going to be distributed, you can decide, okay, well, what formats am I going to deliver? Is it going to be what's being delivered today, just 2.0 and 5.1, or am I going to deliver the full audio bed experience plus the metadata for whatever rendering your device is going to put it together? And that now becomes your normalized content in your archive. As far as how does it help kind of the content owners and the content creators, well, if you know what you have and it's the best quality that you've got to work with, then you can monetize that by delivery to different formats, delivery through different distribution mediums. Your streaming companies, I'm not going to mention N names or A names, or H names or P names or D names. So being able to take your content and delivering it on different platforms with a bouquet of different types of audio formats that are supported makes that content more valuable. So that's one of the ways that we contribute. Another one is obviously just for the standard kind of audio delivery where all I need is 2 channels, but I want to understand what's being said. So this is where the dialogue intelligibility processing comes in. We can handle that both in the file-based as well as the real-time streaming kind of domains. So that's kind of the big message and the big push that we feel right now makes sense for Telos Alliance in the television and broadcast media. There's a lot of good enough audio processors out there, and generally they're part of a solution that's offered by a hardware vendor that does video, and they're great for conformance spec, but lousy for the person that's actually watching this stuff, because again, you end up like playing with the volume to understand what's being said. So we feel we've got a really good opportunity right now to make a difference.
What have you got that's new?
On our Minnetonka Audio Tool Server product, we now have incorporated the advanced audio processing, which includes dialogue intelligibility. It also includes, kind of an SADM workflow, which is part of the next generation audio, delivery. You're designing the audio based on the metadata for the rendering device to put together. We've also incorporated some advanced audio processing for up conversion, down conversion. We've integrated into products like Telestream and SDVI. And it's a standalone product as well. You can incorporate it as part of your own workflow, create hot folders that you dump stuff into, and it processes it based on a profile that you've selected and can actually deliver multiple different types of output files depending on what the platform that it's going to be viewed on is. We have a new panel, virtual intercom panel for our VIP system, which is an intercom system. So that's another thing that's new. We have on our Aero products, so the linear acoustic Aero products, we've incorporated SDI and 12 gig SDI as well as 2110 IO. And we're moving towards virtualizing these platforms so that you don't have to buy an appliance anymore. Now you can run it on your server in-house in your own equipment room, and it's just a license and software that you need to install. And then the same thing goes for the 5000 series for linear acoustic. And then on the Junger audio side of things, we have, again, a virtualized workflow that even works with AWS in AWS containers. So that's kind of the update on the product side of thing.
What one thought do you want people to keep in mind when they think about Telos Alliance?
We are the people that are going to deliver better audio to the people creating the content for you to consume. So, our tagline is "Love what you hear." And that's really kind of what we do, is we make audio better.